But Sergio, good to see you guys. Thank you. I just want to mention one thing before I begin my remarks. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate being included. I appreciate being invited. I did get some feedback from the community that I was going to be here today because this is not my area. I go from Chicago Heights and I run Southwest. And I don't know all the politics in Homer. I read things, I see things. I know that from time to time our politics are polarized. But today, let's come together. Let's put all that aside. Today is a day to recognize Italian American Heritage Month. Can we do that, please, for today? Because it's a historic first today. It's a historic first. And why? Because Italian American Heritage Month, the month of October of each year, is designated as Italian American Heritage Month to be observed throughout the state as a month to recognize the contributions and influence of Italians on American history, achievement, culture, and innovation. That paragraph took about 3 years of work. And very happy that the governor signed it this summer. It was not an easy process. Last year, it made it to the Senate on third reading, which means it went through committee in the House, it passed the House, it then went to the Senate, it passed the Senate committee, and went to before the full House, and all it had to do was be put up on the board for a vote in the Senate, but it was held. Not because of the occurrence, but it was held. And because a new General Assembly was sworn in this year, we had to start all over again earlier this spring. But we got it done. We got it done. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to go through a few things because there's a lot of things happening in the Italian American community that a lot of people are not aware of. There's a lot of challenges, and we've been playing a lot of defense over these last several years. And a lot of the motivation for this Italian Heritage Month was to get a win because we've been playing defense on so many issues. And I want to acknowledge Ron Onesti from the Joint Civic Committee of Italian Americans. Him and I have really grown into a friendship, and we work very well together. But one of the first things that I was confronted with was Italo Balbo, the Italian pilot, Balbo Drive in Chicago. Do you know that there's efforts to eliminate Balbo Drive? That's one of the things that's out there that we're always working on. As most of you are probably aware, we had the Columbus statues in Chicago removed, especially the one at Arrigo Park in Little Italy. No other ethnic group would stand for that. After Mayor Lightfoot promised me on more than one occasion that the statues would go back up, that it's temporary. Never happened. Units of government are continuously replacing Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day on the school calendar. The Chicago Public Schools did it. We met with them. They had assured us that we would have a second meeting before any decision would be made. And before that second meeting ever happened, the decision was made. And they replaced it on their school calendar. Even it's gone out into the suburbs. My alma mater, Homewood Flossmoor High School, replaced it on their school calendar. One of the things I try and do is I say, it's not necessary to do that in Illinois. And why? Because another piece of legislation that I worked on going back to 2017, when I really started my efforts on these issues, Indigenous Peoples Day. The last Monday in September of each year is designated as Indigenous Peoples Day, to be observed throughout the state as a day to recognize the contributions of Indigenous peoples with suitable ceremony and fellowship designed to promote greater understanding and kinship between Indigenous people and non-Indigenous peoples of the state of Illinois. That's a law. That's Public Act 100-0119, signed in August of 2017. Not a lot of people know that exists. But I put on my social media the last Monday of September every year, Happy Indigenous People Day to the people of Illinois. Most recently, Chicago Alderman Rosanna Rodriguez Sanchez. Anybody hear about that? She publicly participated in disparaging and racist commentary on social media about Italian heritage and culture. And it caused quite a storm in the Italian community. There were a lot of letters sent to her. There were letters asking for apologies. There were letters asking for resignation. No apology, no resignation, zero accountability. I don't think that would happen to any other ethnic group. But back to Columbus Day being a federal holiday for a moment. I have introduced legislation, I think this is the second time I've introduced it. I call it the Protect the Federal Holiday Act. And President's Day, Memorial Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day. These are federal holidays. However, any unit of government, there's usually 7 members on a school board. Any 4 members of any school district anywhere in the state of Illinois, if they choose to, can rename any one of those federal holidays on their school calendar, because it's happening now to Columbus Day. So who's to say it won't happen to one of these other holidays? So I've introduced a bill that would protect those holidays. So whatever the federal holiday is, that is what must be on the school calendar. It hasn't moved anywhere yet, but I'm going to continue to work on that. Recently, I was contacted by a regional superintendent of school regarding Italian American history curriculum, because the state of Illinois recently passed Asian American history curriculum and Indian American history curriculum. So I worked with this regional superintendent, and it was part of our strategy that we took the exact language that was used for the Asian American history, and all we did was replace the word Asian with Italian. That was part of our strategy, part of our approach, because there was very little opposition to the Asian American, so why would there be to the Italian? It's the same bill, same language. Well, it was denied as an unfunded mandate and did not move anywhere. But I'm going to continue to work on that as well. So as you can see, the reason I bring these issues up, because when I talk to people and I attend events, most people don't know all these issues are taking place in the Italian community. And those people who are friends with Italians, even non-Italians, that pay attention to this stuff. So I'm going to continue my work, especially with the Joint Civic Committee of Italian Americans. Consider joining. The membership is minimal, and they do a lot of great work. I know Steve Balich is working on growing, as it was mentioned, the Will County Italian American Association. Good. Congratulations on your work on that. I wish you the best. And today is a day of celebration and reflection. A day of celebration and reflection. So with that, I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak here today and join you and celebrate this great day, and appreciate your time. And my office is in Chicago Heights. Always feel free to contact me for any issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Well, now it's time that we get Stan Martiniak. Where's he at? He's got the flag. Yeah, he's one of our maintenance crew. He's the boss of the maintenance crew. And we also have our clerk, Vicki Bozen, here, and trustee Mike Bonomo, and road commissioner Brent Porfilio, and Carmen Morella, our assessor. You notice there's a lot of Italians around here. I can sing if you want, but you know, I mean, No, Jalen Looney, it's a man. Oh, you know what? I'm looking over this way and forgot one of my main trustees, Angel Shake. I saw her husband and I go, oh, I didn't see her. She's hiding.
No,
She's got the
short.
cute dog.
She's short. She gotta stand in front.
I'm glad he's here because I sure in heck couldn't do that. If he can't get it working, I couldn't.